Street Restaurant.
Submit your Heart for Healing nomination to WGNS.
Catch the Action Line every weekday morning at 8, followed by the Roundtable at 9. Information you trust from leaders you know, here on News Radio WGNS.
This segment has been sponsored by the local Edward Jones office of Lee Colvin. The host of this show and Edward Jones have an existing business relationship. This event is not a testimonial of the services provided by Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Back here on Rutherford Issues, as we remind you, we're powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. You can take control of your account management and energy consumption with the MyMTE app. Just download in the App Store and manage your account, improve your energy habits, and more. Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin joins us here for the first time in 2024. Good morning, sir.
Hello, Brian. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. You?
2024.
It sounds weird, doesn't it?
Doesn't seem possible, does it?
I'm still thinking about 1984 myself.
That's scary.
Yeah, isn't it?
That's scary. Oh, my.
I would assume that your holidays went well, and now you're ready to crank up a good 2024 at the office?
We are ready to rock and roll, and have had some really good conversations with clients this year. Already talking about tax savings and planning for this year from last year, and it's I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Well, today we're going to talk about having a family discussion about estate plans. So very important, Brian. Yeah.
And wish we could get more folks to do it.
Well,
absolutely.
Some tips here, some things to consider as we talk about that, and some first steps. And the first step is to actually have some conversations with your family, I would think, right?
It certainly helps, right? I know folks are like, oh, I don't want to burden the kids, or I don't want to get other folks involved, or I don't want them to have to worry about it. But folks, the best time to hold this meeting is when you personally are still in good mental and physical shape, and the enactment of your estate plan may well be years away.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the topics that we're going to cover here today?
Number one, your wishes and those of your family.
Okay.
2, estate planning documents and what those need to look like. 3, roles of everyone in the family that would be involved.
Okay. Those are all very important. And it's interesting that you said on the first point, your wishes and those of the family. So what do you want to say about that?
Well, you want to use this meeting to introduce your estate plan. And in a basic sense, what you hope to accomplish with them, leaving money to your family, supporting charitable groups, and so on. You'll also want to emphasize, Brian, that you want to be equitable in what you leave behind, but there may be issues that affect these decisions, such as disparities in income between grown children, or an allowance need for a special needs child.
Okay.
I think we all probably know good folks who may still be raising a child because of a special needs concern. And those folks definitely want to make sure that when they pass, someone and their legacy is there to protect and take care of that individual as well.
Sure.
But you'll also want to listen to what your family members may want in an extent, and you might be surprised at what they tell you. Some good, some bad.
Yeah.
So consider this. more than 80% of the millennial generation would rather know that their parents are financially secure throughout their retirement, even if this means that their parents will pass on less money to them. And this is according to a study by us, Edward Jones, and an outside group called AgeWave.
Okay.
So that was somewhat, again, just like me and my family. I've told my parents, you raised me, you taught me right, I'm able to take care of my family, you enjoy your retirement money. No, they're not listening to this, are they?
I've got their email.
Yeah. But no, seriously, your parents worked hard. You want them to be able to enjoy their retirement, their livelihood, but you also want to make sure that they're protected for potentially a longer retirement. So, you want to take care of those things. Estate planning documents.
Okay.
At the time that you have the family meeting, you may or may not have already created your estate planning documents, but in either case, this would be a good time to discuss those documents. These documents may include a will, a living trust, maybe a financial power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, and possibly other arrangements. At a minimum, you'd like to give a general overview of what these documents mean, but at an initial family meeting, you don't necessarily have to get too detailed.
Okay.
For example, you might want to talk about specific inheritances. This is also an opportunity to inform your loved ones of the professionals involved in your estate plan, such as your attorney, your tax advisor, your financial planner.
Very good. So as we talk about considering having a family meeting to discuss your estate plans, the final point here, the roles for everyone involved. So I'm sure this includes the children and the attorney that you mentioned and tax advisor. All of the people involved need to know how they should react, I would assume.
Absolutely. Brian, not only does a comprehensive estate plan involve moving parts inside of it, such as the necessary documents, but it also includes actual human beings who may need to take on different roles in your life. You will need an executor for your will, and if you have a living trust, you'll need a trustee. Even if you choose to serve as the initial trustee, you'll still need to identify one or more successor trustees to take your place if you become incapacitated. Or maybe even if I pass away.
Right.
I need somebody to distribute that trust possibly. Plus, you'll need to name people to act as your power of attorney for health care and finances. Choosing the right people for these roles involves thought. It involves sensitivity. Obviously, you want individuals who are competent and reliable, but you also need to be aware that some family members could feel slighted if others are assigned roles that they feel they could do. By being aware of these possible conflicts, you can be better prepared to address those. Other suggestions, more suggestions, let your family know that the initial meeting doesn't mean the end of the communication with the family around your estate plans. Encourage your loved ones to contact you with questions whenever they want, and you may need to hold additional family meetings in the future, but by laying the initial groundwork, you'll have taken a huge first step in establishing the legacy that you'd like to leave. And I would tell folks, even in my world of financial planning, while most folks do not see those as being the same or equal, I will tell you that, as you know, for someone who lost their wife a year and a half ago, this has been a very huge part of our life. My wife and I had already had these documents in place for us as a family from when our son was younger. Now we've had to revamp all of these documents, and I've even had to have conversations with my son about this because it's going to more emotionally impact he and I. It's going to more financially and impact both of us. So I will say it can be a little difficult. You want to take time to think through the process, and as this, as our conversation discusses, we definitely want to have more than one conversation.
Right.
It's not a one and done.
Yeah.
It's a continual thing. But take time to spend with your family. Let them know that you're doing this. Let them know that you care about them. But also make sure that they take care of you, because having proper legal documents in place, I'm in a situation where right now that's protecting a client from some family members.
Yeah.
So again, it can be very important, as we said in the first part of our discussion. Do it when you're healthy. Do it when you're well. Do it when you have the capacity, emotionally, physically, everything, to take care of it for you.
Good points, Lee. And if someone, part of that would be a tax advisor. If someone needs advice, information, maybe a tax advisor, a financial advisor, I should say, in that they could call you or any of the Edward Jones folks here in town.
Absolutely, Brian. Folks can always reach out to my office. We can have an initial conversation with you, get some details about you, your family, and your needs, and then try to connect you either with my office or with another office here locally that may be the best fit for you and your family's financial needs, and also refer you to other professionals in the local community to help you.
Our buddy Lee Colvin joining us today, Edward Jones financial advisor here on Rutherford Issues. If you missed part of the program, be sure to go to WGNSradio.com/listen. That's where you can hear any of your favorite shows live and on demand, plus links to Big G TV. That's WGNSradio.com/listen. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, everybody.
Hello friends, Lenny Farmer with Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home. More than I can count, we have taken care of families who were totally caught off guard with the passing of a loved one. There are so many details to tie up. It really can be overwhelming.